Snow White by the Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time there lived a beautiful princess called Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow, her lips and cheeks were red like blood. When Snow White was a baby, her mother died, and the king married again. His new wife was cruel and very proud of her beauty. She had a magic mirror which said to her that she was the fairest of all. Snow White was growing prettier every day, and one day the mirror replied that Snow White was fairer than the queen. The queen flew into a rage, and from that day she hated Snow White more and more. One day she ordered a hunter to take the child to the wood and kill her. The huntsman took the innocent and lovely child to the wood, but the kind man was unable to kill Snow White. The poor girl promised to disappear into the wood and never return home again. So Snow White stayed alone in a very dark and frightening place. Luckily, she saw a small house and stopped inside to rest. In the middle of the house, there was a little table with 7 little plates on it. Near the wall, there were 7 tidy little beds. The girl was very cold and hungry, so she ate some porridge and fell asleep on one of the beds. It was dark when the 7 dwarfs returned from the work and found Snow White asleep. The kind dwarfs were happy to see a pretty child in their house. In the morning, Snow White was a little frightened to see dwarfs, but they were so nice that she told them her unhappy story. The wise dwarfs asked her to stay and keep the house for them. The hard-working girl agreed with great pleasure. Every morning before going to work, the careful dwarfs asked Snow White not to let anyone into the house. They warned the child to beware her stepmother. Meanwhile, the wicked queen asked the mirror, as usual, who was the most beautiful in the land. The answer shocked the queen. It was Snow White, who lived in the house of 7 dwarfs. The queen was furious and decided to get rid of the girl herself. Dressing as an old woman, she found the dwarf's house and knocked on the door. The resourceful lady had some combs for sale. The girl was so pleased with a little nice comb that she forgot all dwarf's warnings. She bought the comb and at once put it on. The trustful girl didn't know that it was poisoned, and very soon she fell to the floor unconscious. The dwarfs were very frightened when they saw their child lying on the floor. At once they understood everything and pulled out the comb from her hair. Snow White woke up. As soon as the queen returned home, she went straight to her mirror and asked her usual question. You can't imagine how angry she was when she heard that Snow White was the fairest of all. So the wicked queen decided to try another plan. She made a special apple where the red side was poisoned, but the white side was good. Again the queen, disgusted, as the old woman and went to the home of dwarfs. The little girl believed her again and tasted the poison's half. Snow White hardly took the first bite when she fell down dead on the ground. When the dwarfs came home, they couldn't believe their eyes and sobbed and cried for 3 days. They couldn't bury their lovely child in the ground and put Snow White into a glass coffin. One day, a prince was passing by the dwarf's house and saw Snow White. He fell in love at first sight and asked the dwarfs permission to take his sweetheart to his kingdom. The prince ordered his servants to carry the coffin very carefully, but going down the hill, they fell down. Mysteriously, the poisonous piece of apple fell out of Snow White's mouth, and she came to life. The joyful prince was happy to see his sweetheart alive and well. Very soon they reached the palace and had a huge party. The prince and Snow White were married and lived happily with their good friends 7 dwarfs ever after.